Flat iron should make your hair look anything but flat.
In this video, we're going to teach you how to not only flat iron your hair to blend seamlessly with your extensions, but also how to curl your extensions using a flat iron for a totally different look. First, I have pre-divided my hair into a few different sections and prepped my hair with a heat protectant. Because I have medium hair, I'm going to turn my heat to 350 degrees on my Bellamy Triple Shine flat iron. I like to divide my bottom section in half and put one side on each shoulder. Next, I make sure that I include my natural hair with my extensions together so that they blend and have a natural look.
So as Michaela starts flat ironing, you're gonna notice that she has a slight bend in her flat iron as she goes down. This is bending towards her face and creates a little bit of a curve on the bottom. This is what's gonna make your hair look a little more natural and where her extensions and her natural hair blend together to create a very seamless look. So in our natural hair, it never falls perfectly flat and straight. It always has a little bit of roundness to it. So by adding a little bit of that curve in it, she's creating a really beautiful, soft look that just doesn't look stick straight. So notice that you can't even tell where her extensions are and her natural hair are. They're just melting together. So creating that little tiny bit of bend is huge, especially as we start getting towards that top section. So her flat iron's also gliding really smoothly. It's not catching, it's not pulling, it's looking really shiny, really smooth. So now as she gets to this top section, this is the most important section, that slight bend and slight curve is gonna become even more important. She's gonna brush it out a little bit, get it really nice and smooth. Pre-brushing is also super important before you start flat ironing your hair. She's using the crown extension brush right now that has that mix of boar bristles and the flexible bristles, so that can brush right over her extensions, no problem. So right where her natural hair is kind of ending and her extensions start, she has a little bit of that bend. And then she's creating even more of a bend as she gets towards the bottom. So no matter how short your layers are, some people have short layers, starting right about here. Having that soft curve is huge for creating that blend. So now everything is looking just like it's all her own hair. You can't even tell where her extensions are.
Now on this side of my head, I'm going into curling my hair with a flat iron. I'm gonna start the same way that I did on the other side by sectioning my hair out and always making sure that your natural hair is in the same section as your extensions so that it all blends together.
So for her next section, she's going to always start curling more away from the face. You always want to curl away from your face. It looks a little more natural. It opens up the face a little bit more. So again, wrapping that hair around completely and pulling straight through. And then Michaela likes to do a little twist with her finger at the end and let it sit. I know it's tempting that when your hair is freshly done, it's right out of that curl, you want to start running your fingers through it right away, but you need to resist, because if you pull on that hair too much while it's hot, it's going to end up pulling your curl out. You have to let it cool completely before you start running your fingers through it or brushing it out. So as she moves towards her back section, she's going to continue with that same pull through motion. And notice how her curls aren't totally uniform. And that's what you want. You want it to be a little bit more natural looking. A flat iron curl is supposed to look really beachy. So having a little bit of those different types of curls in the hair is perfect. So now she's coming to her top section. She's gonna let that down and then once again, curl away from her face. So I don't know about you, Michaela. I feel like our guests are always kind of overthinking this a little bit, and that's why they can never figure out how to get their hair to curl with a flat iron. They see people do it on YouTube and they just can't get it. And I really think that the reason that it's so difficult is just the overthinking.
Right.
They're trying to like curl, twist their arms around and like do gymnastics trying to get this curl. And so it's really simple, guys, honestly. Put your flat iron in, twist the flat iron around and pull it through. I compare it almost to like curling ribbon at Christmas time. If you've ever done that, you hold the ribbon and you pull it across the scissors. You're not twisting the scissors, you're not twisting the ribbons, you're just pulling it through. And that's what's creating that curl in your hair. So are you alternating your directions or are you?
I am alternating my directions, and that's gonna give me a little bit more volume and texture. If I were to go the same direction, it would be more of like that Hollywood smooth look.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed you were kind of holding the ends of your hair as you were going through that.
Yeah, so that kind of helps make sure the hair stays in between the hot tool instead of going out of the hot tool to make sure it all gets properly curled.
Because that can happen if you don't have a good grip on it. Your hair can actually fall out of the flat iron and then you're not actually getting heat on anything. So you'll end up with a very inconsistent look. So what I've done before too is sometimes as you finish, you'll notice some parts aren't as curly as others, and that's totally fine. But if you want it to be a little bit more uniform, I mean, what do you think, Michaela? Is it okay to go back over what you've already done?
Absolutely, especially as long as you're using some kind of heat protectant on your natural hair and extensions. That'll prevent it from being any type of burning or bending or creasing going into your hair.
So again, flipping it around completely. She's holding the ends of her hair as she goes through and twists it, lets it cool. And last section right here. So notice how she's holding it out and then twisting it away from her face, holding the ends of her hair as she pulls it through. Twist, twist, twist. Always twist in the same direction that you just curled in. And
there's soft little curls.
So cute. I love it. It looks
and you'll
very
get different
natural.
looks based on the size of your flat iron too. So this is a wider flat iron, so I'm gonna get a much larger curl. If I were to choose a smaller flat iron, I'd get more tighter curls.
So then she's gonna let that cool completely before she runs her fingers through the ends.
Now that I'm completely finished with flat ironing my hair and doing some flat iron curls, I'm gonna start by styling my bangs a little bit. So I have shorter bangs and I can do them one of two ways. So I'll show you one way on this side and the other way on my right side. So I do this with my flat iron, and on this side, I'll show you how to get them in towards your face. And on this side, I'll show you how to curve them away from your face. So my bang's a little bit thicker. So I take horizontal sections and slightly just bend it in towards my face, starting right at the root to give it a little bit of volume and a slight bend in. So you can see it gives it a nice curve right into my face. And I take that next section, lift it straight up, give it a little bit of volume and bend it right in there. And so going straight across, I would have that full straight across bang on this side. And you can always kind of sweep it to the side to get it out of your face as well. And then for this section, I just take it fully straight up, use my flat iron, and bend it back away from my face with that same slight curve that we use when flat ironing our hair. And that gives you a little bit of volume and it nicely feathers away and out of your face. The last thing I love to do once I'm finished with the style is using a shine and hydration product. Kevin Murphy has an amazing shimmer shine. One has purple flecks, which is great for lighter hair, especially blondes who love those cool tones. And the other one has gold flecks in it, which I'm going to use because I have darker hair, my hair is brunette, and it'll give more of those warm tones. So I shake it up. You'll see all that gold flecks fly through the liquid, and I spray that directly onto my hair to give it a little bit of hydration and some nice shine. And then I'm done.
And it smells so good.
It does.
I'm like, I use it as perfume sometimes.
Yes.
That's how good it smells. I love it. I could bathe in it.
Now with these amazing flat iron styles, your hair looks anything
But flat.